Man, like it,
It's your boy, Jeff Jones.
you know me. It's the upset specialist, Thomas Boykin.
Always and forever, Mr. Michael Jones.
And this is 234 Sports Talk. Let's talk about it, fellas. Let's talk about it. Big news, big news. Deion Sanders, of course, we all know, left Jackson State and took the job at Colorado. Fellas, a lot of things are going on. Deion, primetime Sanders is about to change the game, pretty much. He's about to change the game. The effect that he has had on, as far as players transferring, he took this job, and there's a lot of players right now that are talking about transferring and going over to play for the Colorado Buffaloes. And I like to call that the primetime effect. There's a lot of big time players that are talking about maybe leaving their schools that they committed to and playing for prime time. Fellas, what's your idea? As far as what's going on with Deion, what's your take on this?
First off, it's good to see a black coach get that much notoriety. That's first and foremost, because normally us as black coaches in the culture don't get that much notoriety. So for Deion to pull this off, kudos to him. Now, the effect that he's going to have on the Big 12 and Colorado itself is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. It's going to be epic huge. Colorado is not used to getting the talent level that they have now compared to what they're getting ready to get. Because, like you said, with the name draw of, Deion Sanders, who is not, especially defensively, who is not going to want to come and play for primetime, especially your DBs and your free safeties. Come on, that's the best guy in the business. Come on. You're looking at primarily your defensive guys are going to get educated. Now, your offensive guys are going to get educated too, because, I guarantee you he's going to bring in excellent offensive coordinator, offensive skill sets, people. I mean, I guarantee you he's got this thing already mapped out to where he wants to go. So this college portal ain't going to do nothing but open the floodgates for Colorado. I think Deion's going to do well. I think the Buffalo culture will turn around tremendously. I think you will see Colorado be more relevant than they ever have been since the late 80s. And I know they've been downtrodden a lot. So I'm just hoping that Deion creates a real positive resurgence and a real positive spinoff on where they're at now to where they're gonna go. What do you got on it, MJ?
Yeah, I just want to piggyback on what you just said, Thomas. Man, it's great to have a black coach, man, to where he's in the news with some positive vibes for the fans of
Yes.
college football. And
Yes.
Deion, to me, man, I think he's gonna have an immediate effect on Colorado, just as well as Nick Saban did when he first went to LSU, and then when he went to Alabama. Like you said, recruits, man. Just the name Deion Sanders is a draw. You know what I mean, from the media side of things, and so he's going to always be in the spotlight. And sometimes, the good will be in the spotlight, and the bad is going to be in the spotlight as well with Deion Sanders. Now that he's at a program to where the light is on, and he's taking over a program, man. That they did a video last week of Colorado Buffaloes. Man, I did not realize that athletic the football side of things, man, is top notch, man. So
Yeah.
I know that's a far cry from Jackson State, man, but man, I love the facilities. And then he's talking about bringing along his son, which right now is a potential. I mean, he should have been mentioned in the Heisman. But now you bring him to a Power 5 school, so we get to see what he can do on their level. And then also, I'm hearing that he's bringing along some 4 and 5 recruits. So yeah, he's gonna have an immediate impact on the Pac-12. And like you said, man, I look for instant success, man. Probably, especially in the Pac-12, you got the two big dogs, USC and UCLA, moving out. So why not Colorado? Colorado will probably have to compete maybe against a Washington or Oregon or Oregon State, stuff like that. But I think with Deion Sanders, man, he can get the players in. I'm already hearing that he's hired Kent State. Actually Kent State head coach. Now, how is it that you can get a head coach to sit and step down and take an offensive coordinator position? Obviously, Deion Sanders can sell the product, and so he's getting his coordinators. I'm hearing that he's getting a DC. I've even heard Mike Zimmerman from Minnesota that used to be a head coach. I don't know what his role would be. And then I'm also hearing he's getting a guy from Alabama on the defensive side. So he's putting together a well-rounded crew, and I'm happy for the brother, man. Go Deion Sanders. Makes me want to sit. If I had some eligibility, or if I had, hey, I want to sign and play for Deion. That's just how I'm excited about what's going on.
I think I would even sign up just on the educational side of it, just to get educated on the game itself, because there's going to be a whole lot of learning curve. I guarantee. There's going to be a whole lot of people that are going to learn a whole lot of things that they might have known or that they might not have known. But there's going to be a big learning curve, I guarantee it.
Right. And then also Thomas and Jeff, when Deion had his meeting his first meeting with the team. Now, this is no knock on Colorado, man, but when you haven't been relevant, you're not recruiting well, man. From what I saw in that room, like I said, I'm not trying to offend any player, Colorado, former player or player now, but it seemed like you guys really need an upgrade as far as personnel. And from what I've seen, and sometimes looks can be deceiving, but from what I saw within that corridors or that room, what they got right now, yeah, Deion Sanders got to bring in some dogs. He's gonna have to bring in. He's gonna have to open up the floodgates for those 4 and 5 star guys to get in there. Just to have a good competitive spring practice, man. Just my opinion.
Well, and what I like about Coach Primetime is he was honest with the players there too when he had that meeting. I saw that too, Mike Jones. He was honest when he had the meeting there. He let them know that, if they wanted to transfer, that now would be the time for them to transfer. Because we know that he's definitely going to bring some guys in there that are going to be capable of getting the job done. Those guys only won one game. Talking about Colorado, only won one game. So I'm sure, Prime Time is going to get the guys in there that are capable of winning more games than one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be a big learning curve. And folks is gonna have to learn what Prime does best, because he's gonna bring energy, he's gonna bring enthusiasm, and he's gonna bring the biggest thing of all, accountability. So I guarantee you that culture is getting ready to go through a big shock.
Definitely. Well, fellas, on the flip side of things, he left Jackson State. And my opinion, I feel like he left Jackson State better than when he found, than he found it, and better, some people may argue that, but I feel like he left it in a better position than the way he found it. So what's your take on that, as far as people getting upset about Coach Sanders taking this position in Colorado and leaving Jackson State?
Here's the thing. As a player, as a coach, as a person in life, you never want to be stagnant. You never want to stop being hungry. Deion, when he went to Jackson State, make no bones about it, no one ever paid attention to Jackson State until primetime got there. Jackson State football was never relevant until Deion got there. The biggest schools that you heard about basically with our HBCUs is Grambling and Southern. And the only biggest matchup that you ever heard about was Grambling and Southern. You got a couple schools out there like Georgia Southern that's you hear about them here and there. But as a whole, like you just said, he left Jackson. He's leaving Jackson State better than he found it. However, big picture, he's leaving the HBCU in better shape than he found it. Because, like we said before in previous shows, when was the last time you seen an ESPN game day show up on an HBCU campus? Never. So, as a whole, I think he's proven that it was a win-win. His whole situation was a win-win for Jackson State and a win-win for the HBCUs. Period. It was all a positive spin. Kudos to that guy. I understand when you're a competitor, it's time to move on to something that's a little more challenging. I get it. And what greater task than to move up on another level and see if you can conquer that level. I'm excited to see what he can do. What you got on it, MJ?
Yes, Thomas, I agree once again with everything you just said, man. The competitive nature of Deion Sanders, man. My dad used to sit and say, man, every round goes higher and higher. You know what I mean? And with Jackson State, man, like you said, they weren't really relevant, and whenever you heard about Jackson State, you heard about it mainly within our community, the Black community. But Jackson State kind of, with Deion, he kind of put it on another stage. I'm sure there's a lot of people across America that had never heard of Jackson State, until he actually had them on ESPN, the football kickoff show that morning. And not only that, man, and I know the Jackson State fans and the community of Jackson, whenever somebody leaves that's been good, for your program, sometimes emotions take over and you don't really sit down and you think about, what the person actually did for them. You just looking like, man, he left me. What are we going to do now? Oh, he used me. You got some people out there sitting feel like he used them to sit and get this job at Colorado, or he used it to get more money and stuff like that. Deion doesn't need that money. You know what I mean? Deion got plenty of money. You know what I mean? He can do other stuff that still is going to pay him millions of dollars. And so the money was not a factor, I don't think. I don't think the notoriety for him was an issue, because Deion is Deion. He's going to be talked about no matter what, whether he was at Jackson State or not. He's still going to be talked about. So I don't think he used Jackson State for any personal gain, you know what I'm saying, except for maybe the experience. But, but like you said, Jackson State is in a much better place these days. And like you said, HBCUs is in a better place. Deion said and brought the spotlight on, Jackson State and HBCU. He even got a hold of some donors. He went and practiced at they went to scrimmage another school in the HBCU and saw how poor the field was. Like a pastor they was practicing in, and it was so many miles away. He stood up there and said, hey, man, we got to get something done about this. So I'm trying to help. He was trying to help other schools out. So, man, and then as far as like the donors and stuff like that, Deion probably pumped in a whole lot of money, not being an alumni of that university, as opposed to some of those alumni that been alumni for decades. Probably ain't put nowhere near the money that he is. Not to sit and say that they didn't have it, but I'm sure there's some very successful alumni that got the money to sit up and say and throwing in a couple dollar bills here and there. But I'm not hating on Deion for leaving me. the competitive nature of a player, of a coach. Man, you sit up there and you want the challenge, and the challenge for Deion is what God has a vision for him. So only what Deion and God have going on is the vision. So man, I'm happy for the brother.
Facts.
Definitely.
Facts. Big facts.
Well, fellas, we'll see what Coach Primetime, brings to the table there. But that primetime effect is in full effect right now. Telling you got young college players everywhere, football players ready, man, to just leave, pack their bags, and go to Colorado, man. And one quick question before we change the subject here. How long do you all feel that it would take Coach Primetime to turn this Colorado Buffalo football team around?
I guarantee you this. The first year he's there, they're going to win more than one game. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. They're going to win more than one game. But as far as the relevance and the resurgence, give him 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, I'm agree with that, Tom, because what he's got to do is, and Jones is, he's got to revamp that roster. And one recruiting class is not going to do it.
No.
2 recruiting classes is not going to do it. And that's with great coaching. And now we're talking about the big boys. You got great coaching, but you're going to have them studs on the offensive and defensive line. He's got to build that to compete. At those Jackson States places like that, you can win with skilled players, wide receivers and running backs and quarterbacks. In the big boy leagues, you got to build that line, and it's going to take more than a year. So I'm going to give him at least 3 years to sit and maybe compete for a conference championship.
All right, fellas.
That's quick.
That is a quick turnaround, Mike Jones. Well,
yeah,
we'll see what happens. You want to add anything to that, Thomas?
Oh no, I'm good. All that is real legit. That's real legit.
I like the way I like that. I think you guys are on the right lines with that. I think it's going to take about three, maybe a little bit longer, but by 3rd year we're going to see something happen, I believe. All right, fellas, moving and shifting. Amen. We want to talk about the college national championship. We know that we have 4 teams that'll definitely be in the playoffs. You have Georgia versus Ohio State. You have Michigan versus TCU. What's your take on those games that are going to take place?
My Ohio State Buckeyes have their work cut out for them major league. I mean, I love my Buckeyes to death. They're a great squad. They're a good squad. But you're looking at a team they're not great, but they do everything good. And when you got a team that does everything good, that's a problem. The only thing they got to basically do is show up and play mistake-free football. It's going to be on you to come in and be on your game and beat them. Does Ohio State have the capability of beating them? Absolutely. The problem's going to be keeping your emotions in check, maintaining your assignment, do your assignment to the best of your ability. Make the plays you know you can make. And my question for my Heisman Trophy candidate player is this: what are you willing to do for your team to succeed? We know you can throw the ball, but what other intangible can you do? What are you willing to do for your team to succeed? That's my question for CJ Stroud. On the flip side, the most underrated quarterback in the country, Stetson Bennett. Not flashy, not fancy, just get it done. It's going to be a whale a whale of a game. I expect it to be a whale of a game. I really do. I expect it to be a whale of a game. I am going to go with the shocker because I am the upset specialist. I am going to go with the shocker. I am going to go with my Buckeyes by 3.
Buckeyes!
I'm going to go with my Buckeyes by 3. Absolutely. But it is going to be a whale of a game. Now, my big upset specialist pick, and I tell people this, and they're looking at me like, nah, you're crazy. Duggan and TCU knock off Michigan.
Ooh.
There's a reason why I say this. Since the inception, since this program has been put on the map, and especially this season, they are known for having heart and coming back and winning games. Michigan ain't seen a team like this. Although Michigan brings the physical side to this game. However, their offensive linemen or their defensive linemen haven't seen a quarterback that can do what Duggan does. And Duggan is not scared to put that team on his back and say, hey, let's go get it. So I expect, I see a TCU upset on Michigan. That's what I see. What you see on it, MJ?
Okay. Upset specialist. Specialist for a reason.
Yes,
but,
sir.
I'm gonna date back to your first game that you spoke about, Georgia versus Ohio State. Like I said before, I mentioned this before in previous shows. One was against Oregon, one was against Tennessee. Give Kirby Smart just a week or two to study, dissect your offense. He's going to make you look like a little bitty kid. He's going to make you look high schoolish. He plays to his level of competition. Ohio State can sit and wing it. Ohio State is prolific. Offense, they number 2 in the country. Hey, Kirby Smart takes that, and we was talking about Deion Sanders a little bit earlier. He takes that as a challenge. I guarantee you he has dissected every he knows C.J. Stroud probably don't like to pull that ball down and get the first down on a 3rd and 5, whatever.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, man, I'm not so for sure about your upset on this game right here. I actually think that this game right here may be a 2-point separation with Georgia winning it. Now, to the other side of the game, TCU and Michigan. Granted, yeah, maybe Michigan have not seen a team like TCU. But at some point, TCU, they did run out of magic against Kansas State. I think this week, not this week, but when they do play Michigan, it's going to be more like Michigan and that Ohio State game. I think Michigan is going to get up on them about 3 touchdowns. And I don't think TCU has seen a team. Now, you might say Texas and Kansas State. I still don't think they've seen a team like a Michigan. And when I say that, I'm talking about the defensive side of the ball. I think Michigan defense is somewhat like a Georgia defense. To me, there's about 3 or 4 great defenses in the country. And I'm going to sit and say Georgia, Michigan, and I was going to say Alabama. Man, I don't even know what my mind was thinking. Sorry about that, guys. But I think Michigan is probably one or 2 in the best defense. And I don't think TCU is going to be ready for it. I think that loss against Kansas State humbled them. And I think they're going to get more humble pie because I don't think they should have been in the top 4 anyway. So that's just my opinion. And so, having said that, when we look at the championship game, I'm going Georgia versus Michigan. And hey, now I'm gonna be the upset specialist. I'm gonna go. I am a believer in the blue and yellow, man. I'm telling you, I think Jim Harbaugh is gonna get that championship, man. And that he didn't get with the 49ers.
I didn't speak on that part, but I think your national championship game in the upset specialist eyes, Ohio State TCU. I got Ohio State winning in a close one.
Wow.
I got Ohio State winning in a close
one. Jonesy, what you think, man?
I'm gonna tell you all like this. I don't think anybody in that top 4 can beat Georgia. I see Georgia winning it all.
Okay. I can respect that. Numbers is numbers, and numbers don't lie. They ain't lost yet.
Yeah.
Georgia is on the mission. And I don't think these guys are gonna falter. I don't think they're gonna fold. They ain't gonna bend, they ain't gonna break. I see these guys winning the national championship.
Right.
Sweet.
It is possible, man. And Stetson Bennett, man, you know, granted, he's getting invited. He's taking a lot of flack right now for being invited to the Heisman thing, or he did. But he's the part, man. He's a I'm finna say Joe Montana. He's a Tom Brady of college football, man. He ain't flashy. He just gets it done, man.
Hey, he don't have overbearing numbers. His winning percentage speaks for itself.
Right. Yeah.
When you've lost what? One game in the last 14?
Got them boys down.
Yeah. Well, take it back. One game in the last 15, because the last one they lost was Alabama in the
SEC championship
game. That was the last game they lost.
Hey, do you not know this about Georgia? You know, last year, now they maybe got a player, maybe a player or two from the transfer portal, but they didn't have to. They didn't have to get nobody. They just brought them red shirts and gray shirts and put them all into play, and they just kept it rolling.
Can't argue. Like I said, the record numbers don't lie, and the record don't lie. They're the defending national champs for a reason.
Yes, sir.
Maybe if I get a little bit of time today, I'm gonna get my Wolverine hat. I get my Wolverine hat, and I'm gonna sport it until they get their championships on me. And hey, tell your wife, man.
She got a Wolverine hat. Trust me, she got some Wolverine gear. Trust me. She lets me know about it on a regular. Trust me.
Ohio State and Buckeye and Wolverine living in the same house. Wow. Well, fellas, moving right along, let's talk some pick'ems. NFL pick'ems.
Yes, sir.
We roll up on week number 14, fellas. Week number 14. Let's look at the teams here. And I want your take on who you think will win. Of course, we know the Rams pulled off one and beat the Raiders. But let's talk about the Vikings and the Lions. Who do you guys liking in that one?
Ooh, that's going to be a slobber knocker. Because the Lions is not going to go down easy. Is that a home game for the Lions?
Home game for the Lions.
Ooh, I might have to ride with the Lions on that one. The upset specialist got to roll upset specialist. I think Blue comes in there and does his thing.
Ooh, man, that's a hard one to pick, Jones. I'm going to go with Minnesota, man.
I'm sticking with you, Mike Jones. I think them Vikings pull it off. How about the Ravens against Thomas's Steelers?
I think my Steelers go 6-7. We move one game closer to bringing Mike Tomlin almost to 500. and keep us relevant in the playoff hunt. I got Pittsburgh by a touchdown.
I think I'm going to go with Pittsburgh.
And I'm rolling with you guys. I'm stick with the Steelers on this one. How about the Browns versus the Bengals?
Well, I think the earlier game, the Browns beat the Bengals, but I think the Bengals have got their feet underneath them now. I think that they're on a mission right now, and I think they're back to making a big playoff push. I got the Bengals winning this.
Yeah, I got the Bengals winning it. Deshaun Watson, he ain't looked just overly great against that game last week. He still got a lot of rust on him. And the Bengals won a few games without their star Chase as a wide receiver. And man, I think they Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals. I got the Bengals. They done found their game now. All right, the Jets and the Bills. Who you guys liking in that one?
Another slobber knocker.
Battle for New York.
Another slobber knocker. The question is, which Jets are going to show up? That is the $1 million question. If the competitive Jets show up, the Bills is in trouble. But I'm going to ride with the Bills with this one. I'm going to ride with Buffalo on this one.
Yeah. Man, I'm just loving too much of them Jets, man. I'm gonna give me a Jets hat today too. I seen one, man. The quarterback Jones has made a major difference in that offense.
Absolutely.
Look, hey, and I just love the last name too. But hey, look for the Jets to sit and win this game, man.
I got the Bills in this one. I got to roll with the Bills, fellas. How about the Texans and the Cowboys? Who you guys liking in that one?
No
Battle
brainer.
for Texas.
No brainer. No brainer.
I tried it.
No brainer. Dallas in a rout.
Yeah, them Cowboys, man. Jerry Jones had probably a couple rough weeks here answering questions about that 1957 photo.
Pretty much.
But I look for the Cowboys to keep the steam rolling.
Yeah, the Cowboys. I think they're going to tell them Texas ain't enough room in this state for you all. They're going to have to go.
Nah.
All right, the Eagles and the Giants. Who you guys liking in that one?
Yeah, Eagles. Giants been struggling a lot. I got the Eagles winning that.
Fly Eagles.
I agree with you, fellas. I got the Eagles in that one. The Jaguars and the Titans. Mike Jones, your Titans.
Mike Jones, if your boys don't win this game, if y'all don't beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, y'all going to go through a culture shock. A whole lot of it. I got the Titans winning this one.
Well, the Titans, man, had some, interesting news over the past week. And I don't know, man. I just think the Jaguars is going to win this ball game. I'm going Jaguars.
What?
I'm rolling with the Titans. I think they win this one.
Wow.
How about the Chiefs? And this would be an easy one to call. Chiefs versus the Broncos.
Well, you never know. Because you know what? Nah, I think I gotta go with the Chiefs on this one.
You were scaring me, Tom. You were scaring me.
I gotta go to. Hey,
you scared me.
Your boy took a beating last week. He gonna come out upset this game. He gonna come out firing on all cylinders.
Somebody gotta pay the piper.
Yep, somebody gotta eat it.
I was thinking just like you. Man, there's got to be a Kansas. But nah, Kansas.
See, you were thinking like I was
saying. But nah, Kansas. Yeah, Denver too much of a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chiefs all day. I got the Chiefs in that one. No brainer. Panthers versus Seahawks. Who you guys liking in that one?
I'll take the Seahawks on that one. I think Geno keeps the steam rolling.
All right, I'm going with the Seahawks, man. Geno, man. When they say you were done, you proved them wrong, man. I love a comeback kid, man. Go Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Seahawks in that one too. Buccaneers, 49ers. Buccaneers and 49ers. Y'all know Jimmy G went down. So who you guys liking in that one? Buccaneers and 49ers.
Yeah, Jimmy G went down, but that defense didn't. Tom Brady going to take a beat in this game. Give me the Niners in this game.
I tell you what, man. I'm like Ric Flair. Do I look purdy? Well, San Francisco, last name is Purdy. Whatever his name is. I think. Look, man, San Francisco is the real deal.
Yeah, I'm rolling with them Niners, man. That defense, man, I'm telling you, I think they could put me in that quarterback, Mike Jones, and that defense will win it for us.
Hey, that defense sick, man.
All right, the Dolphins and the Chargers. You guys liking?
Give me Tua in the Fins.
Yeah, Tua, Dolphins.
I'm rolling with the Dolphins. The Patriots and the Cardinals, last game. What you guys liking in that one?
Interesting game. Because I'm kind of torn between, because the Cardinals is riding, both of them is doing this. So it's kind of hard to pick. But I think I'm gonna ride with the I'm gonna go Cards with this one. I think I'm gonna flip the strip and go Cards.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. Right now, man. They talking a lot about the head coach for Arizona and the quarterback, man. They talking about he's just so into himself, man. You know what I'm saying? With all that money he's gotten paid. Look for the Patriots, man. Bill Belichick, man, squeaks out one.
I think the Patriots win this one, fellas. Well, good news. Brittany Griner has been released back in the United States. Kudos. We've talked about it. We want you to like and subscribe. You can catch us here on YouTube. You can catch us on TikTok. You can catch us on Twitter. You can catch us on Instagram. Leave a comment. We want to interact with you. It's been a real one, fellas. We've talked about it. 234 Sports Talk. Until the next time, we out.
Peace.
Peace.